Greetings, my dear beloved children. Today I would like to remind you of another truth that many of you often forget. I want to talk about your bad attitude towards yourselves. This is precisely what often attracts mid-level astral beings. This has been discussed in many messages, but for many of you it is still a somewhat abstract thing in the background. One person is trying to save the whole world by not thinking about himself. Others, on the other hand, are too self-conscious and take the expression "love yourself" too literally. So I will do my best to help you find the middle ground in this complicated matter. To begin with, many of you are unaware of your hidden talents and abilities. You often judge yourself by the opinions of others or underestimating yourself depending on who is around you. Someone may deliberately flatter you, while others may behave in ways that constantly provoke your feelings of guilt. You end up generating the typical energies of middle astral beings, which, in certain circumstances, can turn into low-frequency vibrations that lower beings feed on. To make this easy for you to understand what I mean, let's look at some cases. It is not uncommon for a strong-willed member of the family to take on and do the bulk of the housework. This is taken as a service to one's neighbor, ignoring the fact that he or she is doing nothing with his or her own talents and abilities, because all the potential, both physical and spiritual, is devoted to meeting the needs of someone else. Such people are a blessing to mid-level astral beings, and there is a reason for this. The energy they generate can be loosely termed the energy of depersonalization, and this is exactly the energy that they feed on. This kind of sacrifice to please others is in fact a voluntary disappearance into the energies of loved ones, which means the loss of your unique, autonomous personality. This type of behavior is a hornet's nest. For those who live for others think they are loving, caring, and spiritual people, but they ignore the fact that they are not only preventing their souls from fulfilling their mission, but they are also depriving their loved ones of this privilege by foreseeing all the dangers and hindering their life lessons. As a result, all family members become addicts, generating in turn the energy of consumption, which is also a delight for mid-level astral beings, for it is the consumer society that is their main donor. Such relationships often come to a sad end, as over time the energies generated by each member of the family become more and more dense. The sacrificer seems to be undervalued and takes their sacrifice for granted. As a result, relatives are blamed for being ungrateful. The latter, in response, begin to treat their benefactor as a servant and not as an independent and brilliant personality. Gradually, the relationship worsens, and the energies that dominate the home are now quite different and feed the lower astral world. It is difficult to notice this gradual change, and it is all the result of a misunderstanding of what love for oneself and one's loved ones means. We will stop here for today. The Absolute Father, who loves you beyond measure, has spoken to you. This message was channeled by Marta, and it was read for you by Adriana.